So our keynote speaker tonight, as alluded to, is Alison Caron. Alison has worked as a graphic designer on Cape Cod for more than 19 years. She earned a BFA in graphic design, summa cum laude, from UMass Dartmouth. Her Hyannis-based firm, Alison Caron Design, has earned many national design awards. Alison and her team design magazines, annual reports, logos, marketing materials, advertising campaigns, and more. Their clients include the Jane Goodall Institute, the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod, the International Fund for Animal Welfare, Cape Cod 5, Cape Cod Beer, Cape Symphony, Capabilities, Cape Cod, Greater Hyannis, Yarmouth, and Chatham Chambers of Commerce. She's also the art director for several magazines, including At Home on Cape Cod, Chatham Living by the Sea, Falmouth Living, and the Mid-Cape Guide. Alison has been an adjunct faculty member in the graphic design department at Cape Cod Community College for more than 9 years and has recently become an adjunct instructor at Massasoit Community College. She offers one-day boot camp workshops in graphic design and related software at her Hyannis studio, as well as one-on-one and corporate group trainings. Alison has been an E4All mentor 9 times. Let's hear it.
Hello and welcome. It is a great honor for me to give the keynote speech tonight here at E4All Cape Cod's Fall 2022 Accelerator Showcase and Celebration. It is especially meaningful since I have been part of E4All Cape Cod since the beginning and a mentor to 9 incredible entrepreneurs. Thank you again, Kristen and Kai, for asking me to share my story, both as a mentor for E4All and as a business owner here on Cape Cod. I hope to inspire you all, whether you are a mentor, a mentee, or a supportive family member. We all know what it's like to take that leap, or to dream of taking that leap, from working for others to working for yourself. To begin, I'd like to say the 2 most important themes that have impacted my own career are connections and courage. Throughout my career, I have found that making friends and creating connections is the key to building success, not only in business, but in life. It also takes a level of fearlessness to walk away from the security of a full-time job and venture into the world of running your own business. I don't know that I was naturally brave, but like many of you, life circumstances dictated that I had to work hard and find opportunities. For me, it was being a single mom that fueled my drive to succeed. It might be something different for you, but everyone has something burning inside them that makes them want to set out on their own and share their skills and talent with the world. Today, I own and operate Alison Caron Design, my multifaceted design company based in Hyannis. We specialize in publishing, advertising, and branding. We have clients that run the gamut from local businesses and organizations to regional magazines, and even international nonprofits such as IFA and the world-famous Jane Goodall. I also have been awarded many awards for my art direction. I host corporate trainings. My boot camp workshops have become popular, and I teach at 2 colleges. But I didn't always know that I would be here in this position with a successful business of my own. Like many Cape Codders, I am a wash ashore. I was born and raised in Taunton, and I moved to the Cape after graduating from UMass Dartmouth with my BFA in graphic design. I've always had a passion for art and design. In high school, I discovered my artistic talents, and I knew I wanted to be a graphic designer. So I enrolled at UMass Dartmouth to study design. One of my professors there asked us what we wanted to do for a career. I very confidently stated, I want to be the art director of a magazine by the time I am 30. After I graduated in 2003 with my BFA in graphic design, I was able to get a job here on the Cape at the Cape Cod Times. After commuting from Taunton to Hyannis for a while, I decided to move here full-time. I stayed at the Cape Cod Times for 3 years, where I have made good friends among my colleagues, some of whom I have worked with in a variety of ways ever since. I was then offered the position of Associate Art Director at Cape Cod Magazine and was quickly promoted to Art Director and then to Creative Director of not only Cape Cod Magazine, but also South Shore Living, Chatham Magazine, and Cape Cod Guide. I had achieved my dream job. At the magazines, I created additional meaningful connections and developed my own design style, which was gaining recognition in the community. This led to opportunities for side work, which then became the foundation for Alison Caron Design. When the magazines were sold, rather suddenly, to a larger entity that wanted me to sign an exclusivity agreement, I said no way. While at the magazines, I gave birth to 2 children, my son Damien and my daughter London. And I had worked hard to build what we now call those side hustles. These additional work gigs, like designing logos, websites, ad campaigns, they made all the difference to a newly divorced single mother trying to support her family. For the new owner of the magazines, to expect me to give those up was unacceptable to me. So I took a deep breath, I reached out to my colleagues and my allies, and I dove head first into opening my own design company. And it was really, really scary. And while I had great support, I wish I had something like E4All back then. A team of mentors who could guide me, a cohort of other entrepreneurs who could stand beside me as I set up shop on my own. But I was determined to succeed, so I hit the ground running. I joined several chambers, Cape Cod Young Professionals, a BNI networking group, and I went through Community Leadership Institute. I became a serial networker. I went to every event that I could. And as a single mother, this often required hiring a babysitter, but I understood this was an investment in my business. Soon I knew tons of people in the local business community, and the referrals started flowing in. Plus, after 7 years having worked at the magazines, where I had the opportunity to visit many of the local businesses, organizations, and interesting people that we were featuring, my little black book of contacts was quite large. So not only was I receiving referrals, but I was giving even more referrals to others. When I was meeting with a potential client, often they left the meeting with a list of contacts and potential opportunities from me. Someone once told me I was a connector, and I'm truly flattered by that. I believe that making and sharing those connections is what running a small business is all about. Around the time I was taking my big leap of faith, I was approached by Cape Cod Community College to interview for an adjunct professor position in the graphic design department. My only teaching experience thus far was teaching Photoshop with the local tech conference, Geek Girls. And that is actually how the college found me, which is another great connection. And I only had a bachelor's degree, and typically you need a master's degree to teach at the college level. But they had a class starting in 2 weeks, and the previous instructor, had suddenly moved for a job offer. So they offered me the position. Having this additional income really helped as a single mother growing a new business. I have been teaching at Cape Cod Community College for 9 years now. And again, doing good work and making friends has paid off. This past fall, one of my colleagues in the design department at 4Cs referred me to Massasoit Community College. Now I am teaching a hybrid online course there as well. What this all adds up to is, again, the themes of connections and courage. I have dedicated myself to really engaging with my clients and colleagues and delivering the best possible service and skills that I can. I have a friend/client, Paolo, owner of Candy Corner and Palio Pizzeria, who came to one of my boot camps at my studio. And he told the whole class, Alison doesn't have clients, she has friends. And I thought that was super nice, and it's true, I do become friends with many of my clients. These friendships are meaningful in and of themselves, but they also can lead to more work and additional clients. For example, a former magazine colleague of mine had moved on to work in communications at IFAW, the International Fund for Animal Welfare. And their headquarters are right here in Yarmouth. That same year that I took my big leap of faith, he brought me in to design their annual report. As an international organization, the report was translated into several other languages. So I ended up preparing a total of 6 reports in various languages. This IFAW annual report won an international award, the 2015 Hermes Creative Award from the Association of Marketing and Communication Professionals. Thanks to these new accolades, my business was growing even more rapidly. It became obvious that I needed to hire help, but I was still working out of my apartment. So I took another leap of faith, and I reinvested the money I made on the IFAW annual report and leased office space. I actually ended up renting the office right next door to the magazines that I had left. Then, a few years later, they went bankrupt and they closed their doors. This was especially sad since many of my friends and former colleagues were still there. But I knew that I had made the right decision. What I hope you take away from all of this is that finding a passion, working consistently, making friends, and finding allies are all part of building a successful small business. I'm a firm believer in making your own luck, which means seeing opportunities, being reliable, and keeping your commitments. E for All is a big part of that. You mentees have already taken a great step by joining this incredible organization and seeking out mentors. And you will all come to realize how important your cohort is. Making these lasting connections and building this kind of support network will prove invaluable in the months and years ahead. Having mentored 9 different E for All participants, I believe the cohort aspect of E for All makes it truly unique among mentoring programs. And I want to stop just for a moment to celebrate those 9 special people whom I have mentored through E for All. Deborah Georges, Cape Cod Booty, Dawn Royer, East Shore Safety, Leticia Thorpe, Mini Me Clothing Boutique, Mulaney Wayburn, Seaside Bridal Couture, which just doubled in size, Carrie Ann Wagner, Path to Healing, Laura Gregorio, Huck House, Kit Irwin, The Vision Scribe, Cleone Mainville, Inspired Outcome, and Jessica Georges, Green Road Refill. And Jessica is here tonight as a mentor. And I think it is so great to see mentees come back as mentors. I hope that I was instrumental in helping them on their routes to success. And I can honestly say that each and every one of them has inspired me as well. I will wrap up my remarks today by saying that in addition to receiving guidance from your mentors, support from your cohort, I also recommend working to discover your own, perhaps unconventional way to build a career. There is not just one right way to pursue your passion and build a business. So be bold and take chances and look out for those cliffs ahead. Jumping off one might be the best thing you ever do. Thank you.